let's talk about food stamps, because now that's the new thing that they are trying to villainize. Like,
Villainize.
who would have thought that food stamps would be an issue? So if you don't know food stamps, honey, food stamps is where it's at, honey. This little card, when you see this little card to the left, at least that's how it looks like in New Jersey. It's a SNAP program, so Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, that is given to people that, you know, are from low income families, and you're able to purchase food for your family, right? So now that, as I've mentioned in prior episodes, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm sick and I forgot to charge my laptop. So the latest thing is now that what's his face? What's
Robert F. Kennedy
right. Hold on,
Jr.
yeah. So let me backtrack. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr., right, the newly confirmed Health and Human Services Secretary, and Brooke Rollins, who's the new Agriculture Secretary, have both signaled that they favor stripping sugary drinks, candy, and more from SNAP, right? The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program that, you know, helps people from low income family be able to buy food and things for their family, right? So like I said, the Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, she said, quote, when a taxpayer is putting money into SNAP, are they okay with us using their tax dollars to feed really bad food and sugary drinks to children who perhaps need something more nutritious, right? So this has been sparking a lot of conversations on whether SNAP or food stamps should cover sugary drinks or just like things that are not considered nutritious. And I just want to cover all the notes so we could just spend time talking about it. And so one high profile figure that commented on this is Adam Housley. I think that's how you pronounce his name. If you don't know who he is, essentially he's Tamara Mowry's husband from Sisters and Sisters, right? So he quote tweeted a tweet talking about this new initiative from SNAP, and he's like, quote, as a kid who grew up in neighborhood grocery stores since I was 5, I cannot tell you how many times I saw people come in and buy crap food for their kids with food stamps, then open the wallet and use cash for liquor, beer, wine, and cigarettes. Then there were those who would repeatedly buy a lemon or lime, get the change, walk out the door, throw them away, and do it again until they had enough change to buy cigarettes or alcohol. As a kid, it pissed me off because there are some people who could really use the help, and then there are these others working the system. So, Rebecca, take the
So
stage.
the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that they're saying, I wonder how taxpayers feel about their money being used to give children sugary snacks and foods and stuff like that. Priorities, priorities, priorities. How can you say you give a damn about children now, but children go to school every day in America, and the potential for them to get their head, like a bullet to go through their brain, is not y'all's first concern? Y'all don't want to put investments in that. Y'all don't want to sit there and look at that and be like, oh my gosh, like maybe we really need to fix something. No, you worried about the Coca-Cola that's in the child's hand. Like, be for real. Be for real, right? So when Shayla sent me this, right? Now, if you know Tamara and her man, like, people have always compared their relationship to her sister Tia and Corey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why there was always a comparison is because Tia married a black man, and Tamara married
A
this
white
dude,
man.
right? This dude, right? And so now people on TikTok are calling her Tamaga, and that's why I keep messing up her name, because I've been laughing about this all day. But Tamara, she ended up posting something on social media talking about something. I love my family. Like, after he made this post, she ended up posting like a post, like, because people are like, you're talking about this, about food stamps and everything like that, and you got
Right.
a whole African American woman as your wife.
But
Like,
to that point, though, I do want to make it clear that not only black people, there's a lot of white people that are on food stamps. Like, regardless
exactly.
of race, it's just low income people as a whole.
Right. But it's like, the snaps, well, for Jersey, snaps, like food stamps and stuff, were created for those who don't have the income to sit there and put food on the table every single day, right? So it's like, I think with this whole, what's her name? Alex, what's his name? Alex, whatever.
Adam
Adam, right?
Housley.
Adam. So when Shayla sent me this, the first thing I said, I was like, first of all, as a child, I know damn well you are not worried about grown up issues like that. I like you really you chatting out the mouth, right? And then also what people don't understand is that when you do have food stamps, there's certain restrictions. Like you can't buy this item, you can't buy these items. Like there's certain things that you aren't able to purchase. That's the first problem. Second, the bag of chips is always going to be cheaper than the lettuce. Like it's always like it used like my thing is right. We're attacking the one thing, but we need to be focused on the other things that come with it. So healthy items are not affordable. The amount of healthy food options are not presented, especially in these low income areas. Like, we are not attacking the first issue. We're automatically just going to demonize one thing and focus, like, oh, junk food is hurting our communities. Okay, but why are y'all putting those? They are feeding the communities with these low income people all this type of different junk food. So talk about that. Y'all not talking about that. Y'all sitting there focusing on this next problem and not focusing on the main problem.
So for me, I have several thoughts. I don't want to say a product of food stamps, but I did have food stamps a majority of my, you know, growing up. I had food
Right.
stamps, and I remember like I would look forward to every Friday because I would be able to get like, I'm a big ice cream girl and I've always been that way. So like on Fridays, my mom would allow me to get like, that ice cream. So I think it is very disheartening that people think that food is a privilege. No, no, no. It should be a. Is that what? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be a privilege. Like everyone
Should be
should
able
have
to.
a right to eat good food. And a lot of people make fun of me because they're like, "Oh, Shayla, you're so picky, and you only like, your Dominican food." And you know why? It's because I couldn't afford to go out and eat and like, try different foods, right? So I am stuck with the palate that I was raised on, which is my Dominican foods, my rice, my beans, my all of that.
But
And
that's
now that
also
I'm
like
older,
that's also a type of luxury too, because there's some people who don't have like those cultural roots and they can't like yeah, they gotta take beans out the can. Like,
yeah, so I think it is actually so, like I said, disheartening that people think that food is a privilege. I think that it does not matter. Kids are kids, right? These are the same people that talk about so much about how they care about family and how we should just bring kids into the world left, right, that we don't want no abortion, no, none of that. But then also the people that want to restrict rights from people. Who cares if a kid is getting you know, candy? Who cares if they're drinking a Capri Sun? Because guess what? Like Rebecca said, those are the things that where you will get your bang for your buck, right? Like growing up, we don't have Whole Foods and Trader Joe's around Patterson. Girl, we got the Seatown, the food fairs, and they don't have organic options. They don't have the grass fed milk. They don't have the pasteurized eggs, right? Like they just have the stuff that's regular.
and even the produce that is there, like the times where I do go to like different towns and stuff like that to pick stuff up for my grandma, like why are all the tomatoes bruised? Why is the lettuce basically like browning? Like these places, yes, like the type of conditions y'all leave these places in, y'all make people not want to buy those options. Of course, I'm not gonna buy browning lettuce. I'm gonna go for the bag of chips that's sealed. Like, y'all don't like, oh my gosh, it starts from the very beginning, right? So even with like this idea of, oh, we like all these people in low income communities are just going to be eating junk food, fast food, and stuff like that. Y'all have literally pushed these into these communities. Y'all have literally caused this to be a part of the cycle of things to like basically put in someone's diet. Like we don't talk about the amount of chemicals that goes into all the meat products that we have. We don't talk about all the different preservatives that we have and everything. And y'all are so worried about like junk food. Talk about the roots. Even the natural food that we have here is like made up with chemicals and all these different preservatives, which is why when you go to other countries, everything tastes better. Everything look better.
Yeah. And also it's like telling people that only if you earn a certain amount of money, you deserve to have sweets and a cake and candy. Like, oh, I could only have chocolate if I'm not on food stamps. Like I think it's all ridiculous. And if you really cared about the well-being of these kids, we would make school lunch free for everybody. I remember I had to pay a good little, I know it's not a lot of money, but the fact that I even had to pay 10, 15 cents to get the raggedy meal that I got at school is in itself like ridiculous. It should be free. If you really care about kids' health, you should, you know what I'm saying? If you care so much about these vegetables and all of these things, all right, open up the Whole Foods close to where we from. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta drive 20 minutes to find a Whole Foods. There
And
is
that's
no
another
Whole Foods in
thing.
Patterson.
And like that's another thing. Some people don't have that like you, like the transportation issue. Like you don't have like a bus that's gonna automatically take you to the nearest Whole Foods or the Trader Joe's or nothing like that. Nah, but you got a bus that can take you to the nearest like McDonald's, Burger King, anything.
Girl, we
like
don't even need transportation for that. The McDonald's is at every other block. There's a
Yeah,
McDonald's.
Bus 11.
Right, in el 11 no vamos. So I just wanted to talk about that because I think it is very infuriating that now they're even trying to supervise what kids eat. Like, please. And at the end of the day, people are always going to find a way to eat the junk food. So you thinking that you're restricting is going to make it better, it's not. People are still going to find a way to do it.
And honestly, I just want to say this last thing really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really trying to listen to nobody who sounds like a deconstructing McDonald's box. Like you just like whenever I hear Robert F. Kennedy Jr. talk, I'm like, sir, like I don't even want to listen to you. Your voice box sound real destructive.
To be fair, he has some sort of health something.
Okay, so he need to focus on his own health before he tries to supervise anybody else's health.
All right. Well, on that note,